Hey everybody, Fifth Horseman here, playing more Kerbal Space Program as you do, and our last successful session has netted us an opportunity to unlock something from the tech tree, the tasty tech tree. We don't care about ladders, we don't care about any of this stuff, although eventually we're going to want to be doing rovers. More science is always good, although I have 2,000 science, I don't really need to be collecting more. These huge solar panels are going to be big. Ions I don't care about. I love me the Octo 2, but we'll live without him for now. More docking ports would always be good. These big pods would always be good. I'm getting sick of sending one guy at a time up there, that's for sure. And but what we're going to do is we're going to unlock this. And the reason we're going to unlock this is I want orange tanks. For my Kethane operation, as I proved last episode, I need bigger fuel tanks because, holy cow, I'm never going to fly that thing again. So let's go ahead and research this and then see what this gets us. More bigger fuel tanks and bigger these. These will work for fuel tanks. So I think when I'll probably just keep drilling up into this tech node here because we need more. Oh, the skipper, yay! But yeah, the poodle is nice too. Although I haven't used it that much, but we might play with it in the thing. But what I think we're gonna do is instead of doing a mission around Kerbal here. Oh, I think we're going to expand our horizons a little bit. And there's Moho. We have a really bad angle to Moho. I go to other planets differently than other people do. Let's see, where's Dre? There's Dre. Oh, that's not what I want to do. I guess I can't set it as a target here. But Dre has a pretty... Where's Kerbal? Yeah, we're not actually at a good angle for any of the planets. Actually, Dre we're not too bad for. I think we're going to try for Dre, or actually it's Elu we're not too bad for. Nah, we're bad for all of them. Yeah, Dre's too high. Elu we're coming up on. I think somewhere around here. What I'm doing here is I like to, yeah, this is where Elu is. I wish I could say, give me an alarm when Kerbal gets to this point. But it's only a few days away, really. And actually, it's probably about when this guy gets to here. So I could actually set the alarm based on a maneuver node I place here. But tell you what, let's go ahead and fly this guy. Because I'm sure he has a maneuver node. What is this? The 5-joule lander. Yeah, he has a maneuver node. Let's restore that maneuver node and see where it is and what it looks like. Yeah, it's a lot. It's roughly where I'm expecting Kerbal to be. So I think in 10 days, or actually wait, yeah, in 10 days or so, we're gonna launch a mission to Elu. And I'm not gonna do anything in the meantime. I'm just gonna build a ship to go to Elu. And then we're gonna go there. And we'll we'll do other little things. I mean, I don't want to do too much around Kerbal and use it all up, and also kind of beat a dead horse while we're doing that. So I think I'm gonna make a craft that will send. I don't need to send 5 probes to Elu, that's for sure. I think I'm just gonna send a simple orbiter and lander combo to Elu, and maybe send a Kethane scanner up there too. Let's make an orbiter with a Kethane scanner and a. Or was it Dre? Whichever one, doesn't really matter. We'll send an orbiter with a Kethane scanner and a lander with every bit of science we have. So I'm going to build that craft, and I'll be back when I have something. Okay, I'm back. Well, I basically scrubbed everything I said I was going to do just a minute ago because it's a lot of Delta V to get to Elu, Dre, and Moho and land something there, and the more you want to send, the worse it gets. And I had some crazy stuff going on before I gave up. Yeah, it's better to not even look at it. I never actually built a ship that could get all the way there and back. I basically built a ship that I would need to get into space, and the concept of getting into space just blew my mind. So I think I need to wait for like nuclear engines and stuff. So I instead built, actually this is called Dinky Fast. That's funny because I renamed the file, but apparently it doesn't rename the thing. So let's go ahead and Dreloho is the name of this ship. And here it is. It's very small. I was like doing this whole reveal thing, but there's not much going on here. It is the smallest probe you can get. It's got the science bay, it's got the goo container, it's got a brain, and it's got a ton of solar panels, and it's got the bigger of the two dishes I have. And you know what? I decided I don't need these. So let's get rid of them. And here's what's going to happen. We're going to launch 3 of these. One's going to go to Dre, one's going to go to Elu, and one's going to go to Moho. And we're going to do the best we can to get these into orbit, but at least with Elu, I think we're going to end up with a flyby. There's a lot of actual delta V in this thing, almost 8,000, and it's got a really good thrust-to-weight ratio getting off the ground. But let's go ahead and launch one of these, and I will show you the plan. Okay, it is nighttime, so we're going to fast forward to morning. It's possible we'll be able to launch all 3 of these in the same day, but if we can't, no bigs. They are being probes. They're very reliant on sunlight. This early morning thing like this is just fine. This is asparagus staging, and I've never actually done true asparagus staging. This is. These are going to drain into these, which then drain into these, which then drain into these, and which then drain into this. So I need to watch my fuel pretty much. And in the test I just ran, this thing does a great job. Excuse me, this thing does a great job at keeping under atmospheric efficiency, which is awesome. So in 3, 2, 1, launch. And this is the first fuel tank to go down. You'll notice it goes down pretty fast because 5 engines are chugging through this fuel right here. So we're just going to let this guy go up and up. And now what I'm going to consider a successful mission here is when I get all 3 of these guys into orbit around Kerbal. And that'll be basically the episode. I think the episode's going to be a little short, but what are you going to do? And there's also a new tool I found on the internet, which is really cool. And again, I will link to it on that page that I have linked to in every episode's show notes. Yeah, we get weird draining going on, but it's not a big deal. It's when this thing is done draining. Time to start my gravity turn, very slowly. Yeah, these engines just get us almost into orbit, at least in my test they did, which is awesome because it leaves nothing orbiting that I have to clean up later, because these almost get into orbit and then they drop them off at the very end, which is fantastic as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, so yeah, I'm gonna get these 3 things into orbit, and then I'm gonna use this tool that you tell it what day it is, and then you tell it where you want to go and what your orbit is around Kerbal, and then it gives you this graph with this awesome graph of how much delta V it takes to if you wanted to launch today or tomorrow or the next day, and how fast you want to get the mission there, etc. You can decide to sacrifice certain things for certain other things, which is really cool. I would video myself using it, but I've never recorded anything not a full screen video game, and I don't know if that'll work or not. And plus, it'll probably be boring to watch somebody use basically what a glorified spreadsheet put onto a web form. So I'm not going to do that. But we are chugging our way into orbit here. The sun has risen, so we're not going to worry about our solar panels. Our solar panels look awesome, by the way. It looks like a flower opening up. But yeah, I'm doing a really aggressive gravity turn. I'm starting to get more. I don't know if the word is comfortable or just. I really like getting the gravity turns going really fast, and getting your horizontal velocity going. It's treated me well. So let's get up to about 83 here, and we're in the highest parts of the atmosphere, so the drag's not really that bad, even though we're technically still in the atmosphere. So this guy's pretty good. You'll see we still got fuel in these tanks. I'll probably dump them if it becomes an issue, but like I said in my testing, they ran out of fuel. My one test run that I did just to make sure that nothing would explode. So let's get out of the atmosphere. Yeah, we haven't even lost 100 kilometers or 100 meters off of this thing here, so that's no big deal. Let's get ourselves going. We also have a ton of battery power. You'll see the resources. Our electric charge is crazy. The reason I did this is because if I want to do flybys, I want tons of electricity when it comes time to do the flyby. And that's why I've also got these huge double rings of, triple actually, rings of solar panels going to be coming out. And yeah, as soon as I dump these, I'm going to show you the solar panels. But let's see, we've got a minute and a half to apoapsis, so let's crank it down. We really only need about 5 seconds before apoapsis. I'm watching up here. Okay, and we're basically out of fuel on this thing, so I'm going to dump them. I'm going to get out of the way. I'll just get my 80 by 80. Whoa, 80 by 90. And then let's go 1. Whoa! There we go. Our first ship is in orbit. We'll leave him at this 80 by 90. It's not the best orbit ever. And we have a ton of delta V. We've got over 3,000 delta V, which is enough to get in orbit around some of these planets. Like, maybe not necessarily Moho, but Dre definitely, and Elu probably not, but we can try. And I'm also going to explore the idea of doing a flyby of Eve or Moho to get into the right orbit, to maybe save a little more delta V to try to get these guys into orbit. But they don't need to be in orbit. They should be able to, even on a fast flyby, transfer back a ton of data to Kerbal. So here's the ship. Pretty cool looking. I think I'm not sure what the right maybe. Oh, there we go. Okay. Back to the launch pad, or back to the Space Center, actually, because we're going to launch our second ship. It looks like, yeah, what did that take? All of 5 minutes? So, we'll launch the next one. So, yeah, see, look at that. It's still early morning. The sun has just risen. We can easily get all 3 of these going. And 3, 2, 1, and launch! And you saw the first one, so I'm going to keep recording, but I'm going to fast forward through this one and do a little talk track over the top of it to explain what we're doing moving forward. Okay, rather than tell you what I'm going to be doing in the future, because I actually get to that at the end of the episode, I would rather talk through what I did here. And first of all, there's a cue coming up, an auditory cue that I responded to that I shouldn't have. And I staged my things too big. And then I look up and I'm like, okay, well, they're flying away, no big deal. And then look on the right, whoa! That was kind of nuts. But anyway, so the rest of this flight went okay. I didn't use up too much Delta V, wasting those boosters before their time. But you'll see that I did end up dropping these things before even getting my apoapsis up to 80. But not too much. And there we go. That's God, I love that thing. It's so cool. But anyway, the rest of this went normally, got me up there. This launch, however, could have gone better. We'll just say that. Well, that launch definitely could have gone better. I forgot about that one. That's hilarious. This launch, though, still could have gone better. This is the the why you have to be very careful with your gravity turn, because I got a little too aggressive with it here. As you notice, I turned that's basically the same way I always do, but then I pulled it down too far. And here I'm going too far sideways, considering I just crossed 20,000 meters. And I get up to orbital velocity with no problem whatsoever. However, I'm still in the atmosphere. And watch now, when I stop my thrust here, watch my apoapsis go down. It's just crazy. I'm losing so much thrust just to keep this thing going, even though he was deep in the atmosphere. So yeah, I ended up using a lot more delta V than I should have. But anyway, back to the episode proper. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed the episode. I hope the 3 versions of this launch showed you some of the mistakes you can make. I'm sure I talked about them. I will be talking about them. Well, you heard it already, but I haven't said it yet while I do the commentary on it. But, yeah, so it is... Let's go back to the Space Center here. And I'm going to, just because I think this episode's going to be a little short, I'm going to unlock something. I've been kind of pushing the fuel tanks, and I'm really seriously considering continuing that, because I would love this bigger Kethane tank. Is this the Kethane? No, this isn't the Kethane equivalent of the orange tank. It's the Kethane equivalent of the double of what I just unlocked. Until I get orange tanks, I don't really feel the need, for the 3-man probe. I would love these better probe cores. It's really hard to do stuff with this Sputnik probe. I never noticed before how nice it was to have a top and bottom connection on these little probes here, because you can put this probe in the middle of something, it's amazing how much more easier it makes things. Bigger battery wouldn't be bad. The bigger solar panel obviously would have been nice on this trip. The accelerometer doesn't really matter. Communitron, wheels, and a better Kethane scanner, which I will never need. Heavy converter unit will be nice once I get my orange tanks. Thermometer would have been nice on this trip. Would have given me extra science on each one of those things I go to. The smaller landing strut, I mean, I've already sent all my probes out to places. So yeah, I think I'm gonna buy this one. It comes with also the Skipper engine, which is a great lifter. So let's go ahead and research this. And, ooh, I think this is the nuclear engine. And I think this... I don't know why I can't get to that. I guess maybe I have to research the nuclear engine as well. But, like, I have to get this before I can get this. But then why not just make it in the line here? But I don't know. But in order to get the nuclear engine, I've got to research these things for some reason. So this will probably be next, because the nuke engine will also make interplanetary flight much easier. Okay, well, we're back. I have figured out all my optimal transfers, and sadly the Dre transfer is like half a year away. So I might not wait for that. I might try to do something a little more aggressive with Dre, just considering he's so far away. But we'll figure that out next time. Yeah, the Igloo, though, and Moho transfers are in the next week, which is pretty awesome. Or a little bit over a week for Moho. But the Igloo transfer, I copied these 4 pieces of information. How much delta V I need, my orbital inclination, and my ejection angle. I don't know exactly how to calculate all that, how to make all that happen with a maneuver node. But when the time comes, probably next episode, I will figure all that out. And... yeah, but this is if I do this, it will only cost me this much to get a flyby, and this is pretty low. I might at least be able to slow down on my way, like as I get there, so that when I do pass by it, I can get more science. And I'm hoping to pass by super low, so I can get one reading of the stuff as I'm skimming over the surface. That's my goal. That'll be really fun. But yeah, that's basically it. So we'll do all that. We'll probably do all the launching next episode, and also do our Kethane scanner, and maybe our 5 Joule probe lander. We'll do the mid-course corrections for those guys, and Unless I decide later to do it on this episode, I don't know. Maybe this will be sort of a potpourri episode. But until next time, I am Fifth Horseman, and I will, as always, talk at you later.